In the shadow of the gold dome of Savannah's City Hall, you'll find one of Savannah's most important and most famous spots, Johnson Square.
That's where it all emanated from.
Johnson Square was created the same year General James Oglethorpe arrived in Savannah in 1733. It was named for the royal governor of South Carolina, Robert Johnson, a friend of Oglethorpe's. As laid out in this plaque found in the square, Johnson Square was intended to serve as a model for all the squares moving forward.
This square has held everything from homes to businesses to churches, because this is really where it all started.
Andy Blair is a guide for detours in Savannah, and Johnson Square is one of the main stops on his guided drives through the hostess city. He explains as Savannah developed, Johnson Square also became the hub of the city.
There have been presidents that hosted balls on the square. There have been public executions on the square. There have been, you name it, Johnson Square has seen it. It was the center of the city as it was beginning to grow.
Even nearly 300 years later, Johnson Square still holds that significance in Savannah. Ryan Jarls of the Historic Savannah Foundation explains as the squares evolved from Oglethorpe's original plans, Johnson Square has continued to be a focal point of the city.
It kind of like set the boundary for what was going to be the rest of Savannah. So it's always just been the original square, the first square. It's the largest square. And I think it just, because of its immense size and the fact that it was the first, people just kind of are drawn to it.
Helping that draw is what sits at the center of Johnson Square, a 50-foot obelisk honoring Nathaniel Greene.
A Revolutionary War hero. As probably George Washington's most trusted and talented general, played a huge role in helping us win the revolution, get our freedom, our independence from England.
Creation of the monument began in 1825, and in 1902, Greene's remains, as well as the remains of one of his sons, were laid beneath it. Today it still stands, grabbing the attention of all who pass through Johnson Square.
He was a huge character and has an appropriately huge monument sitting in the center of it.
It's the original square, the largest square, but even those two statements don't fully capture the significance of Johnson Square. Quite frankly, you simply can't tell the story of Savannah without it.
When Oglethorpe landed and started drawing it out and laying it all out, if he started here, that's where the story's got to start.